Tonight, from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Houston Texans taking on the Houston Oilers.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Oilers and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come in on a one-game winning streak. What do you say we keep that one positive? Because they haven't had much to be positive about lately.
Yeah, let's take it, maybe make it almost like the theater. You're only as good as your last performance. Hopefully they can continue to move forward.
On the other side of the field, for our visitors here, they come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. That'll be taken about a yard deep. He's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
And, he took that thing one-handed. What a grab. A good pickup there at 22.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
One play has him up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete, and he's taken down inside the 30. 70th catch for him on the year. Like this goes for a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
He'll keep it himself. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him, and once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
And exactly how fast was he going? According to Next Gen Stats, 21.7 miles per hour. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. They'll run with Lindsey. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Philip Lindsey, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week, we're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick slant to Brown. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. They'll run for the first time with Raheem Mostert. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 12 carries, 57 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
On 2nd down, Mostert looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though. And they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
Last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And this one will be touchdown right at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 30.
So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. In our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to. Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line. The pass rush specialist, D. Ford, in on the stop.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
3rd and 1.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Back to throw now on first down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's slowed down.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress, and I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And following that punt, which turned out as well as it possibly could have, this offense has 99 yards to go to the other end zone.
And the defense is frothing at the mouth with a chance to get points themselves. If they tackle a runner in the end zone, safety. And if there's a holding call in the end zone, that's also safety as well. So either way you decide to go on offense, you've got to be careful.
To throw now in his own end zone. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. Third down now.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
They were backed up to start the drive, but how about that aggressiveness? Firing it downfield right away. Nice job there getting out towards what would have been their normal starting position.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Now here's a throw. It's complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, a run with Mostert. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 41-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
First down, Oilers. That's the end of the first quarter.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 41. Now a throw here, hauled in, and he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 16. 19 yards there on the catch and run. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And we do talk a lot about how the tight end position has changed in the NFL. Here's a great example. It used to be that they were linemen who occasionally caught passes. Now they're wide receivers who occasionally block people. And right here, This isn't tight end speed. It's definitely wide receiver speed.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd.
They'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there's no space available. And incompletion as a result.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll run with Mostert. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder. And they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
He can run for it, and he will. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, they started that drive all the way. Remaining now. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Open man is Trey Burton. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the 1st half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. So we come upon halftime with a tie score, 13-all. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, 2 weeks to go in the NFL season. A lot of races coming down to the wire. Before we get it back to you guys, let's check out what we have coming up this weekend on the Week 16 NFL slate. In the early games, a lot of good matchups, one being in Indianapolis. A tough one for the Colts as they'll square off against the Jacksonville Jaguars. In the late afternoon games, one to keep an eye on for sure will be in Minneapolis, where it'll be the Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions. And lastly, Sunday Night Football has a good one lined up between the Cleveland Browns and the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through 1 half of play. For the call of the 2nd half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. third and short. They'll try and pick it up through the air. And that will be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
First down and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. They'll start with the option. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. Finding room at the 30 and all the way out to the 35-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Got exactly what they wanted there out of the RPO and had the defense out of position.
One word for you there. Excellent. Because he read all the keys properly, made the right decision, and look at the result. Pretty substantial game.
Foyesade Aluakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
So if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
This is caught. It's Cooks. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Partner in a tie game in the fourth quarter. You and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. They'll run here with Lindsey, and he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. A 10-play drive that time, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will make it into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Once again, it's Mostert. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 2 yards. And it's 3rd down.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Back to throw here. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the 4th. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Another run by Lindsey. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3.
The
Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And this time he is in. Philip Lindsey with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now up to 14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The situation for him offensively as follows. Down by 2 touchdowns, 1:39 to go. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Desmond King picks it, and this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Lindsey. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They'll keep it on the ground. Lindsey.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the 2nd half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a 2nd half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Houston, it's a rare peak in a season of valleys as they move to 3-12 now on the year. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Cincinnati next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll be guaranteed a finish of no better than 500 as they drop to 7-8. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.